working with their data team. So what we do is provide statistics and analytics to broadcast media companies like Fox, CBS, NBC, and then they put it on their shows and use them for their games as well. So the CS stat has like last rookie with 3 touchdowns in the game for the Vikings, so that. So that's what I do now. I work from home, and I enjoy it quite a bit. So.
My name is Jade. I graduated with my bachelor's in 2023, so last year, and I'm currently working on my master's degree here. I got the CSP because I was recruited for the track team, so I'm originally from the east side of Wisconsin, and I currently work as a personal trainer and also as the intramural GA here on campus. So I got to work as personal training because I needed credits for my internship. And the lady that I was nannying for at the time was a Pilates instructor. And she's like, well, I can get you in at the gym. And I was like, oh, I don't really know if I would be very good at personal training. Like, that doesn't really seem like it's for me. But I stuck it out. I did 8 weeks there, just shadowing, taking classes, seeing what personal training was all about. And then when it was my turn, I got my certification. And I started it, and I was like, I don't know. And then I slowly just started to love working with people and seeing people achieve their goals and yeah, tackle what they want to tackle and be alongside them. So they're awesome.
My name is Jake Monkwitz. I'm an assistant football coach here at CSP. Started here as a freshman in 2011, graduated with a bachelor's degree in exercise science in 2014, and then began a master's degree in sports management that I graduated with in 2016. While I was pursuing my master's, I was a graduate assistant with the football program, and have been full-time with the football program since the summer of 2017. So my time here as a student athlete and then a GA, both with the internship that I did as an undergrad and then as a GA, really formed what I wanted to do as far as going into coaching, and been fortunate to be here ever since.
I'm Will. I graduated last fall, spring 23. My years are off. So this sport management program here, phenomenal, by the way. But yeah, what got me here was G marketing. So hi Dennis, the marketing guy here at athletics. Him and G did both put me on here. Great. Got a master's degree here. Can't complain about it right now. Director of marketing at the University of St. Thomas. I'm one of 2 only to handle all the marketing for the whole department. So a lot on my plate, a lot of things happening there. D1 transition. But CSP really formed me to get to where I am now. I look back to it, that just even just only here for 1 year is what got me, in my opinion, to where I am now. So I'm very fortunate to be here.
And my name is Jerry Bates, and I'm not afraid to share my affiliation with the university. I'm super old. I started in 1987. I graduated in 1991 with a degree in sociology and a minor in communication. I chose those 2 because after changing my major 6 times, my parents said, please choose something. So you get out of school roughly within the 4-year period. After graduation, I started here at Concordia University in the Office of Admissions as an admissions counselor, and I stayed in recruiting all my life. I worked in various industries here in the Twin Cities, energy, hospital systems, and I'm currently looking for a medical device company in the Twin Cities as well.
Our next question is, what does a typical day look like for you guys?
I talk a lot. I talk all day. That's the reason why I have this job. Is the only job where I can talk all day and not get in trouble. And that's what my brother said. No, for me, a typical day is really focusing on my internal customers, which are the managers that I support, and I support operations, R&D, engineering, and clinical affairs for my medical device company. So I do a lot of connections and understanding exactly what those positions are, exactly what that looks like for the candidates that I'll recruit. And then I spend time connecting with candidates. And it can be as easy as a phone screen or scheduling an interview, or as in-depth as talking about benefits and their next steps. I work with both external and internal candidates as well. So I see a lot across the spectrum of people with different areas, different focuses, different tangents that they want to take in their life, but basically it all boils down to I talk a lot all day.
There's no typical day of sports, I guess, that's just great. My day could go from, so part of my job is I'm also in charge of the full mascot program at St. Thomas. So today, for example, I was trying to get our mascot program on our website, like, hey, basically I need mascot program. Try to get that applied, get that application all going. But also, again, I'm handling all the markets. So there's days I'm handling the marketing plan for baseball and the full basketball teams, full with one soccer teams. Coming up with different ideas I can do, like for encore promotions, booking halftime acts or whatever. Trying to work on my budget. If there's just like a zillion different things that I do every single day. It's like, that's nonstop. So I can't just pinpoint one, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'll echo that and double down on that, that in sports, there's no typical day. In coaching, a lot of it depends on what season we're in. For example, right now we're in spring practice. And so my day started pretty early this morning. We had practice at 5:45, and then the student athletes were off the lift after that, and then the class throughout the rest of the day. I would say total of my job, 50% of it is recruiting new student athletes. And then the other 50% goes into coaching on the field, coaching off the field as far as schematics and film and game plan, scouting analytics, all of those things. And then also leadership development and retention. So about 50% of it is actually recruiting new student athletes and that scouting process, that analytics process. So it's quite a bit of actually working with student athletes that aren't here on our campus yet. Whether it's the incoming class for the next year or starting to recruit for future recruiting cycles.
For me, it's older now. For me, my day is a bit more streamlined, maybe not as wishy-washy maybe as their routine. So my day usually starts at 5 a.m. I coach a class at the club lifetime that I work at. And then I go into personal training individual clients. So I usually will go like 2 or 3 clients in a row, all of them different age levels and different skill levels, different goals in mind. So my youngest client right now is 12. She's a runner trying to get a little faster. My oldest client is 83, just trying to maintain some of that old strength. So definitely a wide variety of skill levels and goals, like I said, and just being able to like use my degree and the knowledge that I've gotten from my degree and directly applying it to the situations that were given in some of the classes that I had taken. So then I'm there from 5, 6 until 11:30, 12:30, and then I come to campus, and that's when I do my work as the GA of intramurals. So this is an on-campus job, but there also are other like rec department jobs that are out there. So on campus, that looks like collaborating with different groups on campus. We are doing an event today with CAB, just basketball, so that's looking a lot like logistics, getting the scoreboards out to them, getting them equipment that they need, making sure that they have space with reserves, coordinating refs, things like that, as well as the marketing side of things. We're having upcoming events like pickleball, volleyball, spike ball things coming up, just making sure that the word is out there so we can run successful events. And I'll do that till about 3 o'clock, and then I go to practice, do my thing there, and then after that, just work on my graduate studies. So that's my typical day in life, and it's pretty much the same every day.
Yeah, so my day can vary a decent amount too. With our department, we start people working at about 6 a.m. and then we'll go until games end. So West Coast games might end midnight or a little bit later, that type of thing. So a lot of what I do is writing and adjusting code. So we have a big database of statistics, right? And somebody asks like a question like longest hitting streaks this season or something, right? We have a code prepared for that to run. And so I'll be writing new code or adjusting old code, that type of stuff throughout the day, answering client requests for football, baseball, basketball, hockey, Usually my days, I work in the morning, a lot of the stuff is for graphics for games and prepared ahead of time, because they have a general idea of what's gonna happen before they know who sort of the starting quarterback is, or who's gonna be in the lineup, that type of thing, so a lot of it, is prepared ahead of time, and then we do have people that work during the game, and I do that occasionally too. If somebody's throwing a no-hitter or something, they wanna know last time that somebody had a no-hitter through 6 innings for the Rays or something like that. So it can depend a lot based on the day. Kind of don't like no-hitters because we get a lot more client requests then, but, yeah, so it changes a decent amount based on the day, but you kind of know you're gonna be answering client requests for most of the day and, working with code as well.
The last question before you move into small groups is, what's one piece of advice that you have for students now?
Start off, go back on the line here. One piece of advice, I think the biggest thing that I always tell people working in sports industry is just try to meet people, especially when you're a student. So coming to things like this is especially huge, but and as I mentioned already, just knowing people is huge in sports, because like at Sport Radar, not to like scare anybody, but like when we get applicants for new jobs, it's like 300-400 applicants. So if I know somebody who is applying there, I'm gonna look at their application for a little bit longer, or they're at least gonna get a phone screening, whereas like most of the people will, like, as they say, 7 seconds per resume, that's how long people usually look at it. Just if you know somebody and you're able to reach out to them, especially when you apply for a job, it's a huge boost. So just go out and meet people, go to things like this, especially when you're a student. If you can do like a job shadow type thing, that's also huge, to figure out what you like, and then they kind of know you as a person too. So email, reach out, that type of thing, I would say is big.
For me, my piece of advice would be to try new things and things that might scare you a little bit, and then also to use your studies kind of like a roadmap. When I came into college, I knew that I loved to move my body, I loved to compete, I knew I was a competitive person, and I wanted to be surrounded by like-minded people in my job and what I wanted to do, but I didn't really know the direction that I wanted to take that in. So even now in my master's program, I'm like, okay, well, I like my biomechanics class, I like my functional anatomy class, like maybe I'll do something more in that field, or I don't know, I didn't really like doing this part of something, maybe I'll steer away from that. So not being afraid to try new things that you might not feel super confident or comfortable with, and seeing how it works out. Like I started before, like I didn't think I would love personal training, and now like I wake up at 3:45 in the morning, like, yes, time to go to work. I love it.
Yeah, it's definitely, sports is an industry where it's not always about what you know, but who you know. And so, like Cole had mentioned, as many people as you can network with and utilize, like if you don't know who to network with, utilize your professors as a starting point. The internship that I had in coaching while I was a student here was a connection that I made through a professor that I had, who was also my advisor at the time. And then that led me to knowing, like, I love that experience, the summer internship that I had coaching and working with high school kids and youth groups. And so even though you may think, oh, I don't know who to connect with, or other than the 6 of us up here, you're not sure who to network with, utilize your professors. Maybe you have somebody from high school or from your hometown that you can connect with that's in an industry that you want to get into, but just find what those connections and what those networks are. And then as somebody that's also on the hiring side, when we hire new coaches, the application, like the resume part, is so crucial to getting an opportunity to get on the phone, or getting an opportunity to get in front of the hiring committee for the specific job that you're looking for. So utilizing our career development office here and everything that they can do with helping you with your resume, because there may be things that you have in your background or different skills that you have that you wouldn't even know translate to certain jobs. And the career development office can really help you with those things. They can help you with writing a cover letter and what to put in that cover letter, because it's not always just one blanket thing that you're going to want to send out. You want to put specific things for specific jobs or specific locations, and utilizing the resources that you have here at CSP to help you with that. Because whether it's knowing somebody or, having a connection in that industry, or just having a really well-written cover letter and resume, and references that like pop out to potential employers, sometimes all it takes is just having an opportunity to get on the phone or get on a Zoom interview to be able to sell yourself and what you're capable of. So somebody that, is on the hiring process for different coaches, the 7-second resume thing is completely true, and sometimes it's even less than that, with the number of applicants that can come in for different jobs. So you want to find ways to make yourself stand out with what's on your resume and what's in your application.
Like one thing, obviously, that's basically what I was gonna say, but, networking is obviously huge, but also just always not giving up. Like, I found myself giving up, like, oh, crap, I'm not gonna get a job. Like, coming out of my undergrad, I was in COVID. I didn't know what to expect. I applied for over 25 jobs. I had 3 interviews. I was running around for the other 2. Gladly I've got this. But yeah, you just put your head down, work hard, you're gonna get where you want to get to. Another thing I would suggest, again, go back to network a little bit, but during the COVID time, I literally went on LinkedIn, just searched up different people who work in different industries, in sports or different departments. And I had like 3 Zoom interviews or a couple phone calls with them just to pick their brain on what it's like to actually work in sports, especially during COVID. And I found that very beneficial to me. I don't know if it really landed me where I got to today, but I think it got me in the right step to where I knew where I kind of want to end up in life.
They took all my answers. No, that's okay. And I reiterate with that too. I reiterate with the fact that having a really good resume is key. Networking is key. Thinking outside the box and not being afraid to pursue something is key. Knowing people and asking for information, or looking at industries that aren't necessarily industries that you would ever think of with your degree, but following up on LinkedIn and finding people that are in that background or have that background to be successful and to find out more about it. Also, create a LinkedIn profile. As a recruiter, that is the first place I go if I like what your resume says, because that's usually something that gives me a little bit of background. It tells me a little bit more about what you're looking for, so definitely have a LinkedIn profile. Right now, that is the key piece of recruiters.
The other thing that I just thought of, that you have a resource here at CSP is, and this is something that I found out through serving on this panel in the past, is there's an alumni database, and Rhonda would be a great contact for that, with different alumni that are in different industries or different business owners, and things like that. So that was something that as a student I didn't know existed, and I kind of came across it through serving on this in the past. But there's a lot of CSP alumni out there across the Twin Cities and the state of Minnesota and really the country. And so leverage those contacts and those connections that can be made just because you're a part of the CSP network. And if there is a certain industry, if there's a certain profession, a certain career, maybe a certain company or organization that you're interested in working for, that like show up there, reach out and just ask to job shadow, ask to hang out. Maybe there's a way that you can find a part-time job there and work your way up. Sometimes just being in the door and being at the company, even if you're just working a part-time job and you do a great job at it, then you're going to have opportunities to continue to move up and ascend to the career path that you want.
Yeah, would you like to kind of tell us like your journey and what a typical day looks like? Kind of about yourself, I guess.
I don't know what, but I guess. So I'm Adja Fadhichi. I graduated from Concordia in 2005. Majored in Kinesiology and ran track. My intention was to be a physical therapist. And so I just heard, sorry, I didn't get your name.
Jake.
I just heard Jake mention, about shadowing. That's really, really important, because when I actually finally went through physical therapy, I was like, oh, I hate this now. Should have shadowed a long time ago. So long story short, then I got kind of distracted, went to film school for a year, did writing school for a year. I did graduate, from here. Then I was like, I don't want to be a girl student anymore. So then I went to nursing. Got an accelerated bachelor's in nursing. Knew I wanted to be a nurse practitioner, became a psychiatric nurse practitioner. I've been working now as a psychiatric since 2015. I've owned my own practice since 2019. We're in Lakeville. Yeah, and that's pretty much it.
Looks like a typical day for you.
It depends. Because like I said, I run the business, so that's kind of hard. So if I didn't own the business, a typical day would be, I mean, depending on if you work inpatient, if you work outpatient. So a typical outpatient day, you get there in the morning, you see your schedule, you see your patients, prescribe meds. You have referrals, you might have to talk to some other prescribers, to some other maybe parents, case managers, whatnot. Then you go. And then you worry all night about your patients. There's some patients. Inpatients will go better because somebody's always there. So, you know, you go in the morning or whenever you're working, you'll sit around with the staff members and you'll give a report. That doesn't happen in outpatient. So that's nice. You hand off so you find out what happened the shift before. And then just depending on your caseload, you'll go see your patients. It's kind of what I like to say, it's less hectic than outpatient. Outpatient, see patients go, 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 go. Inpatient, which is where I started, you have time to actually talk to the patients, consult with your colleagues. You don't have to make decisions just like that. So the pace is slower. There's more time to learn, in my opinion. And then when you leave there, you know, there are people still there and your patients are out and watching them. So, you know, at least they're relatively safe.